Good evening. Welcome to Worthy Wednesdays with Latresa. I am your host, Latresa Rice, your mindset coach. I help people heal through writing and publishing their story. I'm so excited that you all are here. Let me know that you're here. Put a purple heart in the comments section. If you are catching this on replay, put hashtag replay. Please remember to like, tag, and share. Today, we are talking about 3 methods to help you forgive yourself after loss. How many of you have lost a loved one and sometimes you felt some sort of guilt? Like I could have done this or I could have done that. That's how the enemy plays with our minds. Sometimes when we lose a loved one, we think about all the things that we wish we should have done. And, oh, if I'd have done this, maybe they'll still be living. Or, oh, I wish we'd have done this and that. And sometimes when we are in that state, we find ourselves struggling to forgive ourselves. You did the best that you knew how to do at the time with the information you had. So today I'm going to share 3 methods that will help you forgive yourself after loss. You are worthy of forgiveness. Just like you give forgiveness, you're worthy to receive forgiveness. And sometimes we have to receive that forgiveness from us. We have to look ourselves in the mirror and say, I forgive you. Yeah, maybe you could have cooked a meal, whatever. I forgive you. You have to be able to forgive yourself. So if you're going to forgive yourself after loss, one thing that I encourage you to do is make sure that you sit. The scriptures talk about how we are seated in heavenly places, right? God makes us to sit in heavenly places, which means that you are in a position of authority. And if you're going to take a seat, that means that all the different situations surrounding the loss isn't causing all this mental turmoil. You're not dealing with all these unnecessary issues. You are taking authority over what you're experiencing. So we have to, first and foremost, we need to sit. Now, the word sit, it actually indicates the 3 different things that I'm encouraging you to do in order to help you forgive yourself after loss. I need you to put this in the comment section. S dash seek truth in the word. Seek truth in the word. So the first thing you need to do if we're going to use the sit method is S dash seek truth in the word. When I think about when I lost my grandmother and then a month later lost my husband, he died due to COVID-19. I dealt with all those different thoughts of what I could have done or what I should have done. I wish I'd have spent more time. And oh my goodness, I could have put that homework assignment to the side and all those other thoughts that we have in the moment, those mental attacks when we lose a loved one. And I had to seek truth in the word in order to begin to forgive myself. I remember my husband saying, hey, I don't even want to get on, I don't want a ventilator. And the doctor telling me this is the best thing for him because his organs and everything is shutting down. And if he gets on the ventilator, he'll have a 20% chance at life. But if he does not, it's a guaranteed death. And I'm like, we're fighting this thing. Are you willing to fight? And I remember feeling so much anger in that moment after finding out that he passed and the guilt and all those things. And so I had to start searching the scriptures. Now, when you're dealing with that magnitude of emotions, I remember having a moment of being upset with God because I'm like, God, I've been anointing my husband with oil. I've been praying for him. And what do you mean you took him home? What's going on here? We only been married for 5 months. You got to be kidding me. Right? I remember dealing with all of those emotions, but at the same time, and this is what I encourage you to make sure that you're doing, even if you're dealing with your emotions, you're upset or you're confused or you have guilt that you're dealing with, they're wrestling with, right? You still need to continue to at least listen to the scriptures. So even during that time, I continued to play different devotionals that were related to what I was dealing with. This is how we sit. We sit by sitting in our position of authority. So if you're going to forgive yourself after loss, we need to sit. The first element of that word sit is seek truth in the word. So I remember looking through different scriptures. I remembered listening to the scriptures in relation to what I was dealing with and connecting what's in the word with the actions that took place. So as I started connecting what was in the word to the actions that took place, I was able to say, you know what? I believe I did the best that I could do, right? Some of you had to get to the place where you're sitting, you are listening, you're seeking truth in the word first during this time. And even if you can't take out your Bible because you just right now you're all in your emotions, you can't take it out. You can hit play. You can download that YouVersion app and hit play and listen to it and listen to the different things that are related to what you're dealing with. You can do devotionals related to what you're dealing with in that moment. So after I seek truth in the word, the next step, if I'm going to forgive myself after loss, the next step is to put I in the comment section, illuminate the details and examine them. Illuminate the details and examine them. So I talked about how I had to listen to different scriptures, right? And seek the truth in the word about what God says about me and what God says about us, right? All those different things. But after I did that, I had to also illuminate the details. What happened? What are all the details surrounding the loss, right? What happened? So I need to illuminate. I need to add light to all the different details about what happened. How much information did I have at that time when I made certain decisions, right? All of that stuff is important because now I'm going to examine it. I need to examine it to see what was going on at the time and let myself off the hook because God does. God has already forgiven you. And sometimes we need to look at it, not just the surface level, but look at the root. What could you actually have done? It's not much that you could have done because everything is in his control. So in that case, we have to look at all the details, illuminate all the details. There are missing pieces that we're ignoring because we're wrapped up in our emotions. I ignored the fact that my desires cannot super exceed my late husband's desires, right? One of the things that God said to me is, well, you don't know what his prayer was in the moment. So sometimes we are struggling to forgive ourselves because we're holding ourselves to something that somebody else is not even considering. It's a non-factor for them. They had a different desire than what you wanted, but you're beating yourself up. Why? It is time to let that go. Forgive yourself so that you can heal and you can be able to be a blessing to others. If you're in your depleted state, how much can you pour? We have to forgive ourselves. And last but not least, if you are going to forgive yourself after loss, we need to talk to someone. Talk to someone. Put that in the comment section. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because when you hold everything in, you got everything in your mind, you're not speaking anything, and death and life is in the power of the tongue. Yes, they that love it will eat the fruit thereof. So I'm not supposed to just love my tongue, but I am supposed to declare and decree some things. God has given me that power. So I need to make sure that I'm speaking. I need to talk to someone. I need to talk to God. I need to look myself in the mirror and talk to myself. Sometimes, people always talk about if you're talking to yourself, you may be crazy, all the other crazy, terrible things that we shouldn't say. We actually need to remove crazy out of our dialogue to be real. But at the same time, sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror and affirm the amazing gift that is you, even in the midst of dealing with the greatest pain that you've experienced in your life. For me, that was the greatest pain that I had experienced in my life. Yes, I had other pains. But if I was going to get up from that place, baby, I had to talk to myself in the mirror. I looked myself. When I said talk to someone, the first person I spoke to was God. The second person I spoke to was myself. I looked myself in the mirror and I said, you will live and not die. I looked myself in the mirror and said, Teresa, you are getting up from here. You're not staying in this dark place. As an heir, as a child of God, you have the authority to make up your mind to desire something different. You don't have to sit and stay in positions that you're in the current moment. So I had to look myself in the mirror and decree some things over myself. And even after doing that, there was still another phase that I needed to do. Now, I am a clinical therapist. But how many of you know it is a poor decision for a clinical therapist to counsel themselves. It's similar to someone who performs open heart surgery to perform it on themselves. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. If you are dealing with the meat and the heart and the hardship of the issue, you need to seek an expert, regardless of the fact that you're trained in that area or not. So I had to talk to someone. I went and got my own clinician at that moment, and that person helped me walk through that period. So again, if we are going to forgive ourselves after loss, we have to learn how to sit again. Make sure you sit, i.e., you seek truth in the word, you illuminate the details and examine them, and you talk to someone. I hope this has blessed you. I hope you all are having an amazing day. Listen, I need to share some information with you. July 12th through the 13th, where I am hosting the Clarity in the Pen Conference. This is Royal Clarity View's annual conference, and it is designed to help you see some of the different streams of income that you can develop from one book. This year's theme is turning your book into a movie. I have some amazing speakers lined up. They're going to give you information from how do I structure my script? How do I acquire the different the different things I need, funds that I need to release this movie, and so much more. If you're interested, if you're a current author and you are ready to get the information you need to turn that book into a movie, I strongly encourage you to go to bit.ly/CIP24 to register to attend this conference. You do not want to miss your opportunity to receive this information and your opportunity to make divine connections. So I hope to see you at the conference. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you all soon.